What is xenophobia? Xenophobia can be defined as a deep-rooted, irrational hate towards or dread of foreigners, or even of ideas or beliefs which are perceived as foreign, strange or outside the norm. Consequently, the Vienna Declaration and Program of Action, that was adopted in 1993 throughout the World Conference on Human Rights, urges and encourages nations to do everything they can to prevent the acquisition or manifestation of xenophobia by its citizens. There are two varieties of xenophobia: cultural xenophobia. This kind of xenophobia is cultural in nature. People who are xenophobic are against the objects and elements of culture, like clothing or language. Immigrant xenophobia. This kind of xenophobia occurs when an entire group isn't considered part of society. This typically results in mass immigration by a group in a country, although xenophobia could be present in connection with groups that have immigrated to the community for quite some time past. It could result in violence and bitterness on a micro level, or lead to greater persecution of the group, which goes up to genocide. Real-world samples of xenophobia in action. Regrettably, there are lots of samples of xenophobia in action in the real world. The Holocaust of World War II is a dreadful example of xenophobia. It had been an attempt to exterminate the Jew people because of their religious beliefs and practices. The murder of black families by the Ku Klux Klan, a white supremacist hate group that targets black people, is another horrible illustration of xenophobia. The Indian caste system, which results in people being classified as untouchable based on the caste into which they're born, was described as xenophobic. Exhibits of humans from Africa, the Philippines and tribal pygmies were set on display from the 19th century in human zoos. Such dehumanizing actions are horrible illustrations of xenophobia. Throughout World War II, Japanese Americans and Japanese Canadians were separated from the larger population, losing their basic rights and liberties. The Rwandan attempted ethnic cleansing resulted in the genocide of hundreds of thousands of Tutsis and the rape of Tutsi women. Causes of xenophobia. Xenophobia, although it's irrational, does have triggers that could be attributed to its acquisition. Bad experience with others from certain classes, a generalized anxiety about which differs, propaganda, or exposure to implicit or explicit xenophobic behavior others may, regrettably, all result in getting xenophobia. Understanding xenophobia. Now you know exactly what xenophobia is and have an idea of some examples. You need to get a much better understanding of the subject. Knowing what xenophobia is, though, he should do it crystal clear that xenophobia isn't a good thing.